Alright, welcome to my channel. This is Trucks and Other Stuff. We are here in my Powerstroke 6.0, and we are going to go see if we can't fix a problem in a Powerstroke 7.3. It's not very far from here. I drove that work truck to lunch, and when I pulled up in front of the place I was eating, as I was driving, it was getting rougher and rougher. It had started great. But then had some problems. So that's what we're going to do today. Yeah, it's my off day today, but we're going to do a vlog and talk through some common problems for the Powerstroke 7.3. So stay tuned for that. All right, I just wanted to do a start of the Powerstroke 6.0. It has been a couple weeks since she started, so I have no idea how she's going to do. She started right up. Look at that. No problems. She's doing great. So, next stop is the Powerstroke 7.3. See you there. Alright, we're sitting here next to the old 7.3 Powerstroke. I believe it's a 96. I've looked up a few common problems with these trucks. There's the very basic ones I want to start with. Is I just want to check the wiring harness. I just want to make sure that there's no breaks in wires, that there's no corrosion on the wires or the sensors. There's a bunch of sensors underneath the hood that I want to check. The main one is the ICP sensor, the injection. It controls the pressure of the injection. We'll just explain it that way. I want to check that one. I want to check the glow plug relay, make sure that connector is good, and there's a spot where there's a possibility of the main harness going to the engine that it would rub against the valve cover and eventually wear a hole in one of the wires on the bottom of the harness, and and short out on the engine block. So that's what we're going to check, and we're going to see if we can get her going. Here we go. Alright, I just wanted to give you guys a hearing. I wanted to let you guys hear exactly what's going on. So, keys in it. We're going to stick it to the on position. And then we're going to try to diagnose it. I did look underneath the hood just a second, just to check the different places. I didn't look at the wires yet, but I just wanted to see where everything was. I haven't actually worked on a 7.3 much. So, here we go. We're going to try to start her. That's what happens. So if I go longer, that's what happens. So it could be any number of things. So I'm gonna start looking under the hood, and when I find something, I will show you and point out specifically what I found. So stay tuned. Here we go. You gotta love really easy to diagnose problems. So I didn't get here very far. I tried to cover off, checked the wiring harness that goes up against the valve cover, which it did wear a little rough spot there in the valve cover. I thought maybe that was the problem, but the wires, none of them were hitting. It was underneath the sheath still. So I took off the cover here and just started looking around. Found the ICP sensor, which is right here. If you look at the engine first, this is as you're coming in, looking over, it's just behind the AC condenser, sitting right here. And I just quick popped it off the connector, and it's just so wet. Like, why in the world would this be wet? And then I'm thinking that goes into the high pressure oil rail to regulate the pressure. And like, that's easy. It's leaking. It's a bad sensor. So we've already found our problem. It's really simple, and it should be an easy fix. Don't remember how much it costs for a sensor. I probably will take you along for the journey as I look up the price and figure out what we should do. I'm gonna go ask my boss if we can order this part. So that's the problem. So as I looked it up on the internet, it was a very common issue. So that is what we're going to do. There's another number of other things that we could have checked. Like, I believe the glow plug harness is right here on both sides. It could have been something with that. I really thought it was going to be the wire against the valve cover, but it was not. Not a problem there. So there could be any number of other problems, but for now I know that the wiring harness connector is not supposed to have oil on it. And everything around here on the outside is dry. It's all dry. Like, there's been oil on it before from other things, but the connector itself is dry with dirt on it. But the inside is wet. So the leak is coming from through the sensor. That's not supposed to happen. So that's a problem. That's our solution. I hope you enjoyed this. Hope this is helpful. Maybe someone else is having a similar problem. Go ahead and close this hood here. Let you get a look at the truck itself. It has around 200,000 miles. It doesn't have too many miles for the truck. It runs pretty well. We just replaced the shifter in the steering column, and so that's fixed again. I have some more work I need to do underneath the dash to get all the wiring connected properly. So that's one thing. That's one thing we're going to do, is electrical tape all the wiring back together, and then zip tie it up so it doesn't fall down and hit your feet while you're driving. That wouldn't be very fun. So we're going to go ahead and go to the house and look up the part number and get that part ordered so we can get this thing fixed. All right, here we go. All right, I'm here in my living room. We found out the problem on the Powerstroke 7.3 was the ICP sensor. It had oil inside the sensor harness, the sensor, whatever that's called, where the sensor plugs in. That's where it had oil. It's not supposed to have oil coming through, obviously. So that's definitely our problem. Well, I guess I can't say that because I didn't test other things. But that's the first problem. It is a problem, and it probably is the problem. So that's what we're going to order. I'm on Amazon.com right now, and I have a couple of different options for parts. So a couple different part numbers. I have a more expensive one that's $50, and two that are close to $20. The two that are closer to $20 are cheaper ones that are not as high quality, but they come with something that I think is going to be pretty helpful. So let me show you what I'm looking at. Here we have our different ICP sensor options on Amazon.com. In most scenarios, the best thing to do is probably to go to Napa or to go to another store such as that and get these sensors, because they're probably more high quality. But in a scenario like mine, I'm out in the middle of nowhere, and it's going to cost money to go to town and pick these up. Plus, ones like this is the one that I would choose if I was buying this. It's made by DEF, ICP sensor here. I'm going to leave a link in the description to this part, a link for this Amazon part. The reason why I like this one so much is because it has the sensor, but it also has the pigtail. Because a common problem with these is that the oil destroys the leaking oil around there, and in the sensor destroys the pigtail. So it's a replacement pigtail with your connectors, everything you need to replace that. So that's why I would choose that one. It's because it comes with the pigtail. So does this one, but that's even cheaper, and it doesn't have Prime free shipping. Well, I guess it does. It is Prime, but it's yeah, I don't know. It's more connected. It'll get here sooner. That's the one I would choose if I was ordering this part online. $21 free shipping through Amazon. Comes with the pigtail and the connectors. So that's what I would choose, and that's my suggestion if you're having the same problems. And on that note, we're gonna close out this video this way. If you have a similar problem, but you had a different solution and something else is wrong, you heard the truck try to start, and you know what it sounded like, the scenario of what happened. So if your truck had a similar problem but had a different fix, please leave a comment below. If we had that same problem and this was your fix, from everything I read online, this is a very common problem and it has the same symptoms. And then I go and I find oil in the connector. It makes perfect sense. This is my problem. And if I'm completely wrong, please let me know. And but we're gonna finish the video that way. Maybe in future videos we'll be able to show actually replacing the sensor and the process to go through for that. That'll hopefully come up next week sometime. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this was helpful. If you did like it, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel for more stuff like this. Vlogs about just basic auto shop stuff. I'm not a certified mechanic, but I work in an auto shop and I fix vehicles that don't go on the road. It goes just around the property here at camp. That's what I do. So I'm not a mechanic, classically trained, but I work for someone who's smarter than I am, and I do my best. So again, I hope you enjoyed this. Please comment, like, and subscribe.